It's that Little Gay Talk Show, Houston's hot mess of a podcast. A funny but thoughtful look at the LGBTQIA plus community.
Welcome. It's your host, Joel Tatum. I'm not doing the ordinary, extraordinary thing because it's hot.
It's so hot.
It's way too hot.
It's like so hot, y'all. We're in Houston, H-Town, holding it down underground, way below in hell. Mm-hmm. It's the humidititties for me, y'all.
It is the humidititties.
Yes.
Goodness, my humidititties are so hot and heavy right now, I can't even stand to have them. I'm about to throw them over my shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got sweaty titties. I got sweaty balls.
I can. So we all have swass.
Mm-hmm. Sticky to the side of one left leg or right leg or adjusted underwear, and people looking at me like, "What's wrong?"
Welcome to that Little Gay Talk Show.
Yes. Where we always start the conversation off with balls and titties.
And ass. And sweat. And all of those things. Sorry, not sorry.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And it's the producers episode where we just sit around and just chit-chat with, the producers.
So this month, I want to know what our listeners want to hear. It's Pride Month. Mm-hmm. We got to talk about all things that are important about Pride, right? Like the history of Pride. Mm-hmm. Where does Pride come from? And actually, one of the things that was brought up to me by our friend Deborah Bell, which is something I would like to dive deeper into over the month, is the fact that there were activists before Stonewall. Mm-hmm. This didn't all just happen right at the right moment with one action. This was many, many, many years of people coming together, being visible, organizing, and doing things. And I think we should talk a little bit about them too, because they're really the framework for what happened after the Stonewall riots.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, I just think that would be something that would be interesting to talk about, are some of our even older generation gays, like back in the Victorian and then the 20s and 40s were huge for drag, huge, right? Yes. So I would love to dive into some of those stories and stuff, but I want to know what our audience wants to hear from us. Of course,
me too.
We'll probably have someone on from Pride Houston at some point to talk about their events and stuff, but they're already doing a whole bunch of stuff. They've got Rock the Runway coming up. They had Market Days already, I think, or the Carbach event. So kickoff has happened. We've got our Pride Grand Marshals. All that stuff has been done. So that's exciting. I'm excited to see what Pride 365 is going to be doing this year. I will be there for the parade and festival this year. Now, just hanging out.
We all know about the other Pride thing that's happening on June 22nd. We all know about this. They too are having their festival and parade, I guess. And I'm not gonna poo-poo it just yet because I don't know anything about it. I have yet to hear anything. Well, I've seen little bits and pieces from the other.
I like what they have to say. I don't think that their words and actions align. And I'm going to give them a year to see what they do.
Yeah.
But even now there's a lot of drama with that. Someone left because they felt like a token. So, there was that little drama. So there's drama going on both sides with both of them. And I can't tell y'all how happy I am to be out of it. I don't know the inside track anymore because I'm not inside. And I like not being on the inside. And I'm happy to be moving soon because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the drama. I'm sick of the politics.
I can understand that.
All I want is community.
Exactly. Which
that
is
means
hard
just
right now.
Being there for each other as fellow human beings. But we can't seem to do that because we all have egos.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of it. Y'all need to kill your egos. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to kill mine.
I want a little more emphasis on the B and the T and the Q. I love the fact that as a gay man, there's almost always emphasis on me as a gay man. But I feel like that maybe it's time for us as gay men to say, you know what? Let's take a step back.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate everybody else in the community.
Yeah.
And I say this to my lesbian sisters too. I think it might be time for the L's and the G's to take a step back and start celebrating the B, T's, and Q's, because the T's especially need it. And there's been already a lot of discourse online, especially from my fellow gays who seem to want to put themselves in trans business all the time. And it's really, really started to piss me off when I see queens who are clicky-clacking their nails and talking about trans women need to do this and trans women need to do that while you're clicky-clacking your nails and using AAVE.
Okay.
That's what really gets me.
Okay.
Yeah. That is what really gets me. And I don't have any ill will towards my palm-colored folks of the gay male persuasion, but y'all need to sit down.
Ooh.
That's all. Y'all need to sit down.
Go on down, sit down somewhere.
And
have a cushion.
That's just one gay's opinion. But
you know what that reminded me of? A really stupid take on Little Miss Muffet that I heard when I was in Girl Scouts. And it's Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, and quite a big tuffet she had. If you feel insecure, just sit next to her, and then you won't feel quite so bad. Thank you. So y'all have a seat next to Miss Muffet.
Well, in this day and age, with everybody talking about peaches so much, Miss Muffet would be having a good time right now.
Okay.
Miss Muffet should be enjoying herself. Miss Muffet is throwing that ass in the circle, as they say on TikTok.
Twerk it. Twerk
Throw
it.
that ass in the circle.
Little Miss Muffet, twerk to the market.
That's all I can say right now, because I'm not fixing to get sued. I got it from TikTok. I know who it is. So there we go. I'm not fixing to get sued. You get $5.
You get $5. Okay, can I borrow $5? Hell. So it's so funny that we're all sitting in here and we're like here to have a good time. But let's all be honest. Every single one of us that are here today came in a bad mood. All three of us here sitting at this table are cranky, hurting.
I need a new job.
Stressed.
I need a job.
I need a new
frustrated.
job.
Tired of it. Miserable. But we're still here because we love y'all and we love each other and we need to talk.
And I've been getting a little feedback from some of the fans who are like, when are y'all going to start being more consistent with your episodes? We just got a new studio. We are cleaning everything up. We have been busy. We finished all Comic Palooza stuff up, and we had a great time at Comic Palooza, by the way. Yes, there were some hang-ups. Yes, there was a little bit of drama. But as I told my two producers, it's not anything I didn't see last year. Not anything Chris and I didn't go through last year.
Yeah. Comic Palooza was crazy fun. It was crazy fun. But if I were going to do it again, I would do it differently. There's just, it's so physical. You don't realize how physical it is.
Yeah.
It's because you think, oh, I'm just going to do a podcast, right? But it's the going back and forth 1.5 miles to and from your car to get the equipment, to set it up, to move it down, to go up another 4 floors, to go back down, to go back up again, to get into your car, to go back over here. And then the next day it comes, you don't even park in the same place. You're parking somewhere else, which is another 1.5 miles.
And $60 for parking. I'm sorry, $30, $60 for parking if you think about it.
Per day. It's $30 per day.
It's $30 per day. And we were there for 3 days in a row. So we spent $120
each.
On just parking alone.
Yep.
Which I did not budget for simply because both of us took Ubers last year because Chris is like,
probably would have been cheaper.
Would
have been cheaper to take an Uber. Not for me.
No, not for you, because you guys.
Not for me. But maybe it might have ended up working out that way though, because after gas and miles, I'm not sure that it wouldn't have been cheaper to spend $60 on an Uber. But anyway, whatever. We would do it differently. There's things that we learned.
Yes.
But Comic Palooza was so much fun.
Yes, it was.
And we made so many cool friends, and the cars were great. And I'm still in contact with all those guys. The drivers still call me, and like we're hanging out. We're friends on TikTok and on Instagram and stuff like that. There's nice folks,
Very nice folks. And I go back and forth. I know. I go back and forth with social media. I'll go on a binge for a week, and then for 2 weeks, you won't hear from me for a while. That's just my ADHD just going, you know what? I'm bored. I will do it for a week, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. And then that'll be that. And then I'll find the energy to do it again. But it's going to get better. Now that and I'm putting this out in the universe, now that I'm sobering up and decided to take the sober route, I'm going to have to find some things to do to occupy my time.
Yep. To stay entertained, because you can't just sit there numb.
I mean,
anymore.
I can play video games all day, but even then that gets like
Old
after a while.
Yep.
So it's like, I'm going to borrow some lights and we're going to do some other stuff and come up with some plans. I've written down a few
Let's
ideas.
do some lives on TikTok together, dude. I'm getting quite the following.
You
Y'all
are?
follow me on TikTok at Just Wendy Taylor.
I saw Wendy Taylor for the first time last night on the live. I was just going through my FYP.
Oh, I was on FYP?
Yes.
Oh, I made it to the FYP.
You made it to my FYP.
I got like 8,000 diamonds last night and
I
over
saw
50,000 likes
Yes,
on one live.
You went from...
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This is weird. She went from having... At one point, I'm looking up at that little eye in the corner. It said 500 people at one point.
I didn't see that.
And then my
see that.
phone just died for a second, and then I popped it back on. It went up to 10,000. Like 5 minutes later, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it got up to 50,000 likes.
Yes.
I was like,
I'm like,
But that's because of my fan bam, y'all. Shout out to my fan bam because they're going to be listening to this. So I have to give them a shout out. Susie, Paige, Sunflower, Crystal, all of y'all beautiful, wonderful, amazing women who have been supporting me on my TikTok journey. Thank you so much. I love y'all.
Martin, if you happen to listen to this episode, I'm sorry I did not use the introduction that you and I talked about of friends, and instead of saying ladies and gentlemen, we say friends and enemies.
Oh yes.
Yes, I love.
Yes.
Yes,
Gender neutral ways to engage with people instead of ladies and gentlemen. It's friends and enemies.
I like this.
Yes.
And
you would.
And having someone not. By the way, my rising phoenix, my non-binary, everyday, ordinary Phoenix is with us here today. They did not say anything except for a few mm-hms and.
Yeah, Phoenix is on the mic.
But I think people are starting to go like, oh, Phoenix must be on this episode.
Phoenix may not always be talking, but
Yes.
Phoenix is always watching.
Yes, exactly.
What is that kid? Mike Wazowski. What was that character? Always watching. That's. You could be that character for Halloween. That'd be hysterical. 523. That would be me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
You know what? We need. You know what, Phoenix? I think we need to get you. If we're talking about employment, I think we need to get you into like a weed shop or something where you can just like chill.
Oh,
and just
actually,
hang-
that would be a
I
good
think
fit.
that would be a lovely job for you. I really do.
That'd be a good fit because they're not real busy, and when no one's in there, you're just sitting.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And then when people come in, you just get your little steps in for a minute and go and you get the thing out of it and you hand it to them and you're like, have an awesome day, and they will.
And trust me, even if you don't know anything about weed, they'll teach you in a heartbeat. Your
learn.
customers and the people who work with you will teach you in a heartbeat.
You learn.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
You
goodness.
learn. So
Yep.
I would, if I were you, I would look into that.
You know what we call you know what we call doing the Mary Jane on TikTok?
What do we call it?
Gardening.
Oh, is that what they're calling it now?
Because y'all know there's like 100 code words on TikTok.
Yeah,
well,
there's
yeah,
code words
there's
for
so many
everything.
There's code words for absolutely everything. But yeah, what we call smoking the Mary Jane is gardening. So I'll tell them, I'm like, hold on, I have to step off the screen. I need to go garden for a minute. They're like, cool, got you. And then I have to mute because I don't like coughing after gardening on camera. You know, just a bunch of hoes gardening on TikTok.
Well, it seems like to be, you know what, it's kind of refreshing because when you go on TikTok sometimes, my TikTok, my TikTok, my FYP, every time I go to TikTok Live, dick pic.
Really?
I mean, these guys are sitting around in their underwear, dicks, well, they're not hanging out, you know.
Okay. I was about to say, like, how did they not get banned?
They're in their underwear, they're in their boxers.
Yeah.
You could tell when things are moving down there. You could see little prints. And these guys are getting more and more creative when it comes to showing the little peen on live. To the point where actually one person actually flashed it. And I was like, they're going to get banned. They're going to get banned.
Yep.
And sure enough, they were on there next week.
Yep.
They are pushing the boundaries.
Yep.
Because, you know what I figure? I figure that with Twitter being such a mess that it is, and it is a mess.
Oh, my gosh.
It's such a mess.
It is
What
a mess.
the heck?
Twitter is nothing more than right-wing conservatism and porn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And those two things are married anyway.
I know,
So
and I'm looking. 1 minute,
Wow,
1 minute I'm looking at trying to find something to go to sleep to. The next minute, there's Donald Trump in my face, and I'm like, I can't. No.
dick pic, real dick pic.
No. Absolutely not. And that's when I deleted my Twitter. I'm like, this is enough.
Yeah, I can't.
I can't.
I left Twitter before Elon took it over because that was when I decided to throw away all of my social media. So I deleted all of my social media when I left, and it was the best thing I ever did for myself, to be honest. And when I jumped back on to social media, it's been so easy for me to just be like, no, I'm not looking at Facebook today. If people need me, they have my phone number. And if they don't need me, then I don't really need to be on here. I can be doing other things with my life. And then when I meet them again, I'll actually have something worthwhile to say. Because I have found with everybody knowing every single detail of every movement of my life, I have no real connection with people anymore because I have nothing to tell them. I've told them everything. Everyone knows everything about everyone all the time now. And there's no mystery left. There's no connection.
I think what I'm trying to figure out, and I'm trying to figure out, now I've made a few videos on TikTok. Some of them have done okay, some of them have not. So I'm still trying to figure out where I fit on TikTok. But I'm also very committed to the idea of not sharing too much personal information about myself. I really just want to talk about things that are interesting to me. But I really don't want to spend a lot of time like talking about things that are good. I mean, if there might be certain little conversations I might talk about ADHD once and every now and then. I might talk about therapy every now and then. But when it comes to things that are personal, I kind of want to keep it for the outside world. And I really want to hold on to that as much as I possibly can before I commit to like really throw it, especially TikTok, because I feel like out of all the social media, I like TikTok more than.
Oh man, I love TikTok, y'all. And I avoided TikTok like the plague, but I can't even tell y'all.
You could not get this woman on TikTok.
I would know. I was like, hell no. No, I was not going to do it. And now I'm like, I have agencies reaching out to me because I'm like growing super fast and I'm killing it. But I'm telling you again, it's because of this community. It's because of the community on TikTok. When you find your people on TikTok, and you can, because there's literally over 3 billion people on the platform. So if if it's taken you a little time to find your tribe, it's okay. Just keep looking, get more specific. Your weird is out there and there's someone else whose weird matches your weird, and y'all need to create a community. You have to reach out to each other and support each other. And you know what? I'm going to give y'all a couple of TikTok tips, okay, on how to grow your account. All right. First things first, you have to build that community. You have to have people that actually engage with your content. That means no spam liking. If people come in and spam like your stuff and don't finish watching the video all the way through, that actually lowers your chances of being seen by the algorithm. So the secret is to watch the video all the way through, like it at about 40 seconds in, then comment and repost. Y'all are scared to death of that repost. You don't have to save every video, but repost your friends' stuff. It pushes it out to more people. And if you're not supporting your friends in real life, but you expect to get online and have a bunch of strangers do it for you, you are going to be sadly mistaken, my friend. You will get there for a second, but you're going to go out like a light in a hurry. Sustainability is about building community. So build a community on TikTok.
I think I want to find my older gay men. I'm looking for my older gay men on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because right now, I told my therapist this. I said this on TikTok. I want to be a woman over 50, living her life and having a good time. Because women over 50, in my eyes, seem to be having the best life.
I think so. You know what? I'll even drop it down to 40s because every single woman I have met, at least over the age of 41, they have found the ability to be free, like genuinely free. They're free from beauty standards. They're free from fashion standards. They're free because they don't have any fucks left to give over stupid shit anymore. And they have stopped prioritizing other people over their own happiness.
Especially men. They've stopped prioritizing men.
Yes. And that's the thing that I want my younger generation to hear when I say that, you know, those memes, they're like, if you could go back and tell your 15-year-old self anything, what would it be? And honest to God, for every single child I meet from here on out, quit worrying about men's opinions.
Yes, exactly. Quit. Stop.
Just stop it.
Just stop. Because
I don't care what age you are. I don't care if you're 5. I don't care. You don't need to worry about what men's opinion are of what you want to do and how you want to get there. Fuck them. Not literally.
I have the unique...
Yes, need to specify that.
Right.
I have the unique position of being able to code switch when necessary.
Right.
For those of you who don't understand what code switching is, as a black person... when I am I talk differently to white people as I talk differently to black people.
Right.
And as a gay man, I find that I'm talking differently from straight men. But the thing is that because I have this knack to step in and out of the straight world, when I turn it on, girl, I turn it on. But if I'm like hanging out with people, I kind of just turn it down just a little bit. I still want you to know that there still might be a little bit of gay that you might be looking at me questioning. And the funny thing is that I've heard this thing before. Somebody said this on TikTok, and I heard this in the past before. Well, if he's not gay, he's probably into white girls. So that's probably why he talks that way. So for the longest time, people used to think I was into white girls for a little bit because of the way I talk. Even other black people were like, oh, you're just going to date a white girl. And I'm like, why? Because of the way you talk.
What does that even mean?
What does that mean?
What does that even mean?
So, yeah, I've been able to code switch back and forth. And I've heard when men don't know fully what my sexuality is, I've heard men say the craziest shit. And I just look at them like, what the fuck? It is getting hard out here to be. Now, I've heard mostly from black men. I don't know that much about what white men are saying. But I've heard some ridiculous things from the black community. There is a sign on the corner of on Martin Luther King in Airport that has black children black children in genocide with a trans flag next to it.
Oh, wow.
I'm like...
But trans people are the ones being murdered.
Yeah.
That's so backwards. That's propaganda, though. That's blame them of the thing that we're doing.
At first, I looked at the sign and I thought it was... I'm like, this can't be right. Maybe they're talking about... Maybe that's
certainly
an Israeli
not
flag.
Not on Pride Month.
Maybe that's something. It wasn't even. Girl, it was up there before Pride Month. I think it was up there in May or something.
Be weird if it just disappeared some magic.
Here's the funny thing about May, though. Every time Pride is about to come around in June, that's when everybody goes online and it goes online and say, "Hey, Well, what about the military? Why is there no month for the military?
Oh, my favorite
and
one
I
is
constantly remind people, it's Military Appreciation Month in May. It's been that way for 40 years.
Not to mention the 11 holidays or something, 11 plus holidays that we give them throughout the year. And also, I'm sick and tired of the whole, it's not Pride Month, it's Men's Mental Awareness Health Month. And I'm like, it's also this month, and it's also this month for cancer research, and it's also this month, and it's also this month. It's not pie. You don't get less because you share it with someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, you don't think that gay men need mental health care too?
Yeah, exactly.
So
what is it? What are you saying to me then?
Right.
Exactly. And by the way, it's also Juneteenth. Juneteenth.
Oh, correct.
It is
Let's
also
not forget
Juneteenth. Let's not forget Juneteenth.
Juneteenth
Because
is
the one
so
thing
important.
the one thing about Pride as a black man that I love is the fact that Juneteenth and Pride follow the same month. So I just walk around going, I'm the shit all fucking night. And you better acknowledge. I will walk up to other gay men and go, no, bitch, it's Juneteenth. Get out of my face.
Yep. I mean, move. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Move, bitch. It's Juneteenth.
So what's crazy though is that there's a lot of controversy about having Pride the weekend of Juneteenth as well, which I can understand. I can understand, but that's the part that I don't think other people understand is that there are black gay people.
And trans people, and bi
And
people,
trans
and
people. Queer people in general. So it's like you're discount. You're making it even more marginalized.
And it's my community as a black man, my community as a gay man going, what? What you mean? We don't get to participate? We're black.
Right.
How do you leave us out?
Gatekeeping is bad, I think. I think gatekeeping is bad.
You know what, though? I don't... Honestly, Juneteenth in Texas has been a holiday for way before it became a national holiday. So Juneteenth and Pride have always been a thing here in Texas.
Yep.
I don't think it's really that big a deal in Texas. I think it's really a bigger deal elsewhere else that now that Juneteenth is a national thing.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. And it should be a national thing. To be honest, I would rather celebrate Juneteenth than July 4th because July 4th was not freedom for all. Juneteenth was.
Yeah, exactly.
And until every man is free, no one is, right? And that includes our country. So I feel more patriotic about Juneteenth than I do about July 4th. That's just my personal opinion. So I feel more American about Juneteenth than anything because we finally got something right after all the horrible, awful, terrible that we've done and continue to do. And speaking of that, are continuing to support terrible things. Our support for Is Not Real is really starting to get under my skin. It is really starting to get under my skin.
Did you see the picture of Billy Porter kissing the hand of Joe Biden for the Juneteenth celebration?
Are you serious?
Billy Porter. Now, I have tried to stay out of the... Billy Porter has pissed me off since Pose.
We're over here just blinking at each other like, what?
Billy Porter has pissed me off since Pose. Since he won an Emmy for Pose. By telling... He didn't acknowledge the fact that, hey, wait a minute, I'm surrounded by a trans cast. Why is no one in the trans cast
being celebrated like I am?
Right.
Yeah.
His whole thing was, well, you know what? I worked for 15 years in the business. It's my turn.
He's not
You
wrong
can wait
about
your
that,
turn.
though. He's not wrong about that. I don't like the optics. I don't like the optics because he could have shared that. But he's not wrong. He has been overlooked for a long time.
But I feel like that is something that you keep to yourself. I don't think
sure.
sure. Put that out in the world. I don't think that you look at your you look your dad in the eye and tell them you wait your turn. I don't think that's...
No, that's not right. You're supposed to bring people with you. Like I said, he should have shared it, but he's not wrong about it being past time for him to be recognized. I am happy about the fact that we are now celebrating queer black men. I am so happy that we are celebrating queerness at all in any color, but particularly queer black men. But what about our trans siblings? They are always left on the side, always last. And they're the most marginalized group of us, particularly trans women of color.
So after I took a look at that sign because I walked down the street I was so pissed off. I got off the bus and walked down the street just to take a look, just to be 100% sure. Because I'm like, this can't be happening. You can't tell me that black children are being murdered by trans people. You can't be telling me that.
Right.
To the point that you're calling it a genocide? Wow. We are throwing around words that we do not understand the meaning to.
Yeah, we've got like 4 genocides going on right now in the world. That's all being done by capitalism. Like, look at what's going on in the Sudan. Look what's going on in the Congo. Look what's going on in Palestine. It's there are so and yes, we're talking about free Palestine, all eyes on Rafah. All of those things are calls to action and for people to witness and pay attention and do what you can to spread the truth of what's going on out there. But again, even with that, we're ignoring Africa completely. We're ignoring Africa completely, and like Sudan has got the most people displaced in the world in history.
It's the last time it was 22 million.
It's absurd.
Yeah,
it's an absurd amount of people. It's in the multiple millions of people to have been displaced multiple times, and there's no food, there's no water, there's no, it's just an absolute humanitarian crisis, and nobody's doing anything about it except for getting their new iPhone.
Yeah, exactly. And don't forget the Congo's being raped. All their resources they're just being raped.
Yep.
And I don't like to use that word, but it is true.
But that's the right word.
Of their resources.
And the women are being literally,
Yeah,
it is both figuratively and literally raped. They are being horribly treated and just run over for a metal that's not even that expensive. There is no reason why this should be happening, and it's the corporations. It is the corporations that are making this happen.
Yeah.
And that's Apple, that's Samsung, that's all of those big. So once I learned about this, I vowed personally, one of the things I decided to do about it is never buy a new phone again, only buy refurbished. Only buy refurbished phones. You don't need the new phone. You don't need it. You want it. You don't need it.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you want it enough to know the fact that how many people had to die so you could get it? Is it worth it now? Is it worth that $1,500 you're going to drop on it? Knowing what people had to go through to get it? It's not for me personally. If it is for you, that's on you. But for me personally, I can't live with myself knowing I'm supporting that.
Well, and it's hard especially when you, and I'm not going to say that the Sudan and Palestine are easier in this discussion, but when you look at all the resources that the Congo have and all the things that we use from those resources, when you think about it, it's like, how do we divest from that, or so that we can still get the things that we need?
Right. And my whole thing is like, why isn't the Congo, if they're so rich in resources, one of the richest nations in the world? Why aren't they the richest nation in the world? That makes no sense to me.
Absolutely none. And it's going to get worse because someone said that with the Western countries be so far in debt that they're going to probably go out and start raping countries again. Yep. And we got to put a stop to this. Because, and you know what? I feel like society has, yes, I know we're going through a tumultuous time right now.
It's been tumultuous. I'm so tired of living in unprecedented times.
I'm so tired.
I want to live in precedented times for a change.
Exactly.
I want to live in the calm times, the boring times.
Yes,
Can we have the boring times?
I would love to be bitching about something so stupid like, can you believe the tie he was wearing on TV yesterday? That's the kind of stupid shit I want to get back to. I'm so tired of this. Like, people are literally dying on my screen in front of me every day, and I can't do anything
know. You know how hard
I
it
have
is.
donated, I have shared, I have reposted, I have written my senators, I have signed, I have protested, I have signed petitions, I vote, I call my representatives. So many times that I just go straight to voicemail sometimes now, and and it's just like not getting better. And what I don't understand is why. And what I think I figured out is because not enough people are doing it.
Yeah.
Not enough people have the information that they need in order to stand up and say something. And a lot of people are afraid. They're afraid to lose their platform. They're afraid to upset the turnip cart, you know, and honestly,
you know, I find
that's so gross.
I find that POC and Black creators, when they wrestle with this question, I feel like they just go for it. I feel like they just say fuck it. We're already at the bottom anyway, and not many people listen to us anyway. So we're just gonna do what we do.
I have a theory on that, and I think it's because you understand what it's like to be oppressed.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and it's like the whole, I know how this feels, and I'm not going to allow this to happen to someone else. The problem is that my skin folk don't have that problem. Okay, so they're like, it doesn't affect me, so I'm just going to do whatever. And that is the most selfish, self-righteous, disgusting mindset. How fucking dare you?
And I don't know. And I don't know if this is real, but I've been hearing it from Black content creators since the whole Palestine thing started happening again. And it's the fact that a lot of them are getting attacked from Israelis. They're getting their posts shut down or banned. They were really going after Black content creators at the beginning until it started to pick up steam with other folks.
White creators took the light and picked up the torch and got the attention that Black creators and other people and other creators of color were trying to get out for months. For months, and we didn't pay attention until they put a white face on it. We didn't.
No, we didn't.
It didn't blow up until white people got involved. So, white people, I'm asking you, I'm begging you, my people, this is your permission to get involved. Get involved.
And support Black content creators,
Support them. Support your content creators, your Black people of color, indigenous creators. Actually support, repost their stuff. Don't just go on. If you're going to duet their stuff, don't just be like, make it about you and center yourself. Don't do that. Just share their stuff on your platform. It's so easy.
Exactly.
It's so easy.
Literally, what did Wendy say earlier? Repost.
If
you don't do anything else, repost.
Reposting is the best thing you can do to support and help your friends.
Yes,
that does
exactly.
better. That does more than commenting. And don't just go on and comment a couple of emojis. You need to write like 7-8 words, or don't bother. Like, just put some fucking time and effort into your friends.
Yes, exactly.
Quit being a selfish little shit who's doom scrolling and doesn't give a damn about anything. Care about the people around you again. I am so sick and tired of all these differences separating everybody into their own little fucking echo chambers. We have forgotten how to come together as a community and be humans. We have forgotten how to do this, and I'm tired of it.
I'm going to throw something in here. I think that as a society, what we're going through now is normal. And I hate to say it. Every society has its hills and valleys.
Of course.
And right now we're in the valley. And the beautiful thing about the valley is that the more that we are starting to understand each other, the more that we're starting to understand that, wait a minute, there are certain things wrong within each of our own groups that we need to start talking about. And more, now, like I said, I'm coming from a Black perspective. When I see Black content creators start talking about things that I think are important to talk about in the Black community, it really helps me understand where the Black community is, especially to where they feel about the LGBTQ community.
Sure.
Which, there are times I am terrified of the Black community because they are so conservative. I did not realize how conservative the Black community could be until I've been able to be on social media and see it for myself, or see it in real life and go, wow, I thought we were better than the oppressed becoming the oppressor.
Okay, so that's my whole thing about Israel, and y'all could tell me if I'm wrong, but please tell me that Netanyahu hasn't gone full Magneto.
Now I feel like that we've explained what genocide is on a certain level. Let me remind you once again that trans folks in the United States, 0.6% of the population. That is approximately 1,385,000 people who are trans. And I feel like that every time I hear something about trans are doing this and trans are doing that, trans. I keep thinking to myself, how does a community of less than 2 million people have such an influence over 364 million Americans?
Why are you so obsessed with me? That's my thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Why are you so obsessed with me?
Oh, by the way, out of that, 55% of trans people are white.
Yep.
21% are African American. So even then, it's still a small, tiny population.
It's
that
tiny.
For some reason has the entire world by the balls.
But they don't actually care about the trans problem. They don't. This is all a distraction from shit. They don't want us to come together. They have to single out a group of people to hate because the common enemy keeps your eyes off of the problem. And the problem is just exactly what I said before. We have forgotten how to be humans together in the same room. We have completely forgotten how to do that.
Yes.
And I don't know how to get back to that. The only time, historically speaking, it takes a war. Or some kind of awful horribleness to happen for people to band together. Because as Americans, if you look over as in historically speaking, the only time we come together is when there is some horrible tragedy.
You know what? What gets me about conservatives? Why do conservatives always talk about everything like a war is about to happen?
Because they want one.
Everything is a war with these people.
They want one.
They want a war. I don't know why.
Because it's good money.
Why do you want a war within your own borders? Why would you want that?
It's good money.
They just care about the money.
It's only good money for those in the 1%. For the rest of us,
correct. But who's doing our governing?
Yeah, exactly.
The 1%. They want the money.
But what gets me on the conservative side is You guys don't have any money. I don't understand why.
Oh no, you're talking about the regular everyday folks. Yeah, no, because they think no. It's because
I know.
Yeah, they think they can become the 1%. They actually believe that American dream is for them.
They actually believe that.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
they don't look at the reality of their lives and go, wait. How I live in a trailer. How am I going to become a billionaire in the next week?
Yep.
Or I have a family of 4, barely scraping by in the suburbs, trying to figure out if we can afford this damn house.
Yep.
But yet, I'm going to become 1% in the next year?
Yeah.
It's this celebration.
Because if I do it to them, it could happen to me if it happens to me. And I'm like, so you're telling me that you have figured out how to live on $30,000 a year, but you can't figure out how to live on $150 after taxes? I'm going to need you to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're chasing after things that you know you can't afford, taking these expensive trips, buying all these luxury items so you can meet. So what is it? What is it saying?
Living above your means.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Yes.
So you can keep up with the Joneses, and for what? You're in
exactly
debt.
For what?
You're in debt, and you have all these nice things, but you can't use them. What's the point? You are literally throwing your lives away to a bunch of people who could give a shit less about you.
Yep. And I also agree with that when it comes to the work grind. I don't think working 80 hours a week is a fucking flex. You shouldn't have to work 80 hours a week to get ahead, to do well in your life, to get where you want to get. That is so disgusting and unfair.
Can I ask why we are throwing a benefit for employees of one bar at another bar? Why are we throwing a benefit so that employees at one bar, I want to say the name so bad, but why is Buddy's employees having to go to another bar to throw a fundraiser so they can get paid?
I don't have the inside information on that.
That just popped up on my Facebook, and I'm like, what the hell is happening at Buddy's that you can't afford to pay your employees for weeks on end?
I've heard a lot of rumors. Heard a lot of rumors, and nothing about this situation makes me happy. I loved that bar. That was my home bar. I loved my crew that I worked with there very much. I loved working with Christopher Berry while I was there. I had never had any bad experiences with him. I understand many other people feel a certain way about him, but my personal experience with him was always incredible. And regardless, what if he did fuck up royally and fuck people over? I don't relish in the downfall of anyone or anything, because overall, all in all, that was a whole crew of people's lives who did not get paid for the work that they put in at the time, which is not okay. So this is affecting our actual community members. This isn't just fodder for everybody to talk shit about and laugh about and throw a Spirit Halloween sign up and make a meme out of it and laugh at the downfall of things, of two clubs in the very few that we have left in the Montrose area. We're running out of spaces, y'all, and y'all are clapping your fucking hands and laughing and pointing while it's burning. Shame on you.
And by the way, if it wasn't for another bar coming in, that's a community trying to help community.
Yes.
And I appreciate that's my
Shout
thing.
out to Tony's. Shout out to Tony's
Tony's
Corner Pocket, man, for coming in. And they're always there for the community. They always are. They always are.
Regardless of what happened with Christopher Berry, I have met Christopher Berry on many occasions. Nice guy. Don't understand the club business. Not going to sit here and try to pretend to understand the club business.
Yeah, we don't know. We weren't there.
We weren't there. Never had an issue with it. So whatever issues are there, I'm sure they'll figure it out. But having someone in the community to help out, I think, is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
I don't even want to talk about the negativity of it all. I want to just shout out Tony's Corner Pocket for being there for the community over and over and over again, doing their fundraisers and really helping out individuals without worrying about what it's going to do to their name or how they're going to feel about a certain way. I've held a couple of fundraisers there at Tony's, and I got to say, man, they really pull out for you.
They really do. And when anyone I've always, ever since 2020, every time I see anything that needs to go on in the community, it's Tony's Corner Pocket that always seems to lead the effort.
Tony's a nice guy.
It's always Tony's Corner Pocket who's going to come in and save the day somewhere.
Tony's a nice guy, and his crew over there are full of nice folks. We have a really lovely, capable, phenomenal community full of different types of people that do different things. And there's enough to go around for everybody. But y'all, we have gotten so nasty. We have gotten so nasty at each other that we feel entitled behind our keyboards to say some really ugly shit that I'm not so sure a lot of y'all would be ballsy enough to say to somebody's face.
Side note, do you know Twitter made
porn? Yeah.
Not porn. They made what is it? Live? No, it's something else.
I went straight to porn.
They made likes private.
Oh.
Yeah, Twitter. That's one of the other. That was my last straw with Twitter, because they made likes private. So if someone likes something,
no, you can't see what anybody else is liking. Interesting. So that you can't go after somebody for what they. Interesting.
Very interesting. That's why I went. You know what? I think I've had enough of people.
I just know that one of the reasons they did that was because they made porn okay on that site. That's why they made it completely okay and acceptable. Not that it wasn't always there anyway. It was, but it's like okay as a platform stance, right? So now all of these conservatives, because it's a conservative beehive, all of them are going to be on there liking all this gay porn. They don't want anybody to know they're liking it.
I feel like Twitter...
They don't want anybody to know they're liking it.
I feel like Elon Musk has set up his own gay club for conservative...
They're all tapping their foot in the stall next to him. All of them.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Bunch of homophobes are always the biggest homos.
You would think that with all the gay porn that is being shown on Twitter, that conservative Twitter would be losing their shit over this.
You literally would think so. Like, if they're going to... But first of all, like, they made this huge thing about porn here in Texas. Like, we can't even watch Pornhub in Texas right now. I don't know if y'all know that or not. But Pornhub has been canceled in Texas because they refused to do... to comply with the specific law that states that people would have to basically give them their legal identification in order to get onto the website. And I was like, how many people do you think are going to want to give their legal identification to a porn company and have that information stored in a porn company? So Pornhub was like, no one will do it. We're not going to do it. So Texas went, fine, you can't watch us here. And I'm like, have y'all heard of a VPN?
Exactly.
It's $5 a month. You can watch stuff in China.
Girl, I paid $36 for a year.
Oh.
$36 a year for
yeah,
VPN.
It's super cheap,
it's
y'all.
Super cheap,
it's
y'all.
super cheap, okay? So just, it's ridiculous that they would do this anyway. It's absolutely absurd.
It makes me laugh heartily because I know a lot of Texas conservatives are on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
I know a lot of Texas conservatives who are on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
We see you. Y'all
you.
Aren't slick.
And I bet OnlyFans is making money. If you have an OnlyFans account on Twitter right now, I bet you are making money left and right just from conservatives.
For real. Missed opportunity for me. I could have had so many feet pics.
And I have heard from, especially from black content creators who have porn on Twitter. Most of their audience are white and conservative.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I don't know if it's a Mandingo thing. I don't know.
It's absolutely a fetishization
I don't
thing.
know. It's definitely a fetish.
Yeah.
It's definitely, you would never want to bring one home to your mom, but you'll fuck one.
Yeah, it's because it's taboo. Yeah, this is what I find hot. Because I'm not supposed to touch it.
And if I swear to God, if I had the body, not if I was 20 years younger, because there's old men doing porn on OnlyFans and they're doing fine. If I just had the body, girl, like, you think I would? Now,
I wouldn't. I don't give a damn.
About it,
I don't even want to. I'm like,
I feel like it's too much work.
No.
And with my ADHD, at one point I'd just go, here it is. Look at it. There it is. I'm done. Thank you. Bye.
See, this is why I'm so glad I wasn't born with a penis, because if I did, I would have turned it into a sock puppet and all kinds of other stupid shit. I'd give it bunny ears, little headbands around the head, and I put googly eyes on it, and I'd sing opera with the little,
You do it way too much.
I'm just saying. This is why I'm glad I wasn't born with a penis, because y'all would never see me. I would be in my room all the time playing with it. I would.
Wow.
Just saying.
You'd make a great man.
I know. I know what y'all doing. I know, because I would do it too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but isn't the female orgasm so much?
Who said I don't play with myself now?
Okay, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like it's you just trade one for the other, but the masturbation will be the same. The same amount. It'll be the same amount.
Yeah,
of
but I can't make a elephant trunk out of mine. Mine doesn't stretch and pull like yours does.
Man, trust me, is making elephant trunks.
I've seen the jog straps. I've seen the jog straps and the sex thongs and stuff with the trunks, and yes, you do. And when you dress up, yes, you do.
I can guarantee you somebody's probably gonna send me a text going, "Yes, we do."
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, you know what? You're right.
Yes, you do.
And I don't want to. I'm not here to sex shame. You just do you.
Yes.
If
with
you
your
like it, I love it.
With your little Dumbo self.
If you like it or love it, but according to Twitter, a lot of us don't qualify for trunks. So we can qualify for I don't know, woodpeckers sometimes, or an occasional Pinocchio reference.
Oh. Pinocchio.
Maybe
I'm a real boy.
We could I don't, a hot dog reference here and there, but a lot of us we can't do the Twitter thing. Have you seen the penises on Twitter?
So we're actually getting close to the end of the episode, y'all. So before we go, I would like to ask y'all what the funniest euphemism is for a sex organ that you've ever heard. Mine is sausage wallet for a vagina.
I've heard that many times.
I think that's so funny.
I've heard that many times. I'm trying.
Purple-headed yogurt slinger.
Is that for men?
Penis.
Or? Okay. I'm trying to think of what I've heard. I've just
Roast beef curtains.
let's see. I think men are just sometimes men are simple. It's.
Yep.
I think we make fun of women's vaginas more than we. I think we just keep it. It's a dong occasionally. It's a. I've heard some interesting things on TikTok, but I can't bring them to memory right now. But
I know guys are so like simple. Like y'all don't have like you have Dick Cock Johnson. You know there are artists. Wang. Dingaling.
Ding-a-ling. I haven't heard
Ding-a-ling's
ding-a-ling
good.
since I was 6.
Yeah, Dingaling.
That made me cough. I haven't heard ding-a-ling since I was 6. Oh my God! If a grown ass man walked up to me and used the word ding-a-ling, I would slap the shit out. What is wrong with you? You are grown. If you can't even use the word penis, what is wrong with you?
Okay, do you want to play with my pocket rocket? Yep. Yep. They're funny. I think
The only thing I
euphemisms
think
for
of
them
a
are so
penis
funny.
is just dinner. That's
Dinner.
all. Yeah,
All right.
dinner.
All right. Blow pop.
Yeah, blow pop.
Cool. How many licks does it take till you get to the center of the?
For a guy, it only takes 2 or 3. And you're already at the center.
Depends
even
on
before
the
you
guy.
wanted to get to the center. Sometimes you can just look at it and the center will pop out.
Center will pop out.
I don't mean no harm to you gentlemen who might have a little problem with that, but it's true. Some of it.
Oh my God.
Isn't that a way to end an episode?
Yeah.
That is a way. Well, thank you to all our friends and enemies of the show.
And frenemies.
And frenemies of the show.
We don't want to leave out the third gender.
Yeah, we don't want to leave out the third. You're right. Oh my God, I never thought about them as the third gender. We don't want to leave them out as the third gender. No.
All right,
no.
friends, enemies, and frenemies.
Yes, yes.
I love y'all so much. Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you, and you know what? Happy Pride, and
Happy Pride.
yes. I'm going to put pictures online so everybody knows that we do have a new studio. We're not just talking and lazy about doing episodes. We will be doing more episodes because I'm tired of everybody asking, can you please do more consistent episodes? Yes, but you have to understand that we work and we have other stuff going on, and Whitney lives in
Timbuktu.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's hard to get together sometimes, but we will try to be as consistent as we possibly can.
Bumfuck Egypt. That's where I live.
Yep.
Yep.
So we are out.
I'm Wendy Taylor.
Sing us out, Wendy.
Sing us out?
I don't
Oh
know.
my God. Bye.
You